kashit dukkha bhag bhavita. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May everyone be happy. May everyone be free from all diseases. May everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything. May none be unhappy or distressed. Good morning, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, faculty members, and my dear alumni. Hope you have had your morning tea or coffee, the perfect pick-me-up for the day. I am Paromita, your host, excited to set the stage for insightful discussions. It's a privilege to welcome you all to the prestigious National Conference, India at 2030, Energy, Economy, Employment, organized by N.C.E. Bengal and Jadavpur University Alumni Association, Mumbai Branch. With your permission, I'd like to take a few moments to share some words about N.C.E. Bengal and Jadavpur University, our identity and presence in Mumbai. Jadavpur University, or JU, Kolkata, stands as one of India's premier public research institutions, renowned for its academic excellence, progressive ethos, and unwavering commitment to intellectual freedom. Established in 1955, JU traces its origins to the National Council of Education, N.C.E. 1906, a cornerstone of India's Swadeshi movement dedicated to promoting indigenous education. The Mumbai branch of the Alumni Association, N.C.E. Bengal and Jadavpur University was established in 1956 with the initial goal of creating a platform for alumni to connect, engage, and foster lifelong relationships. Over time, our mission expanded to include social contributions through knowledge-sharing initiatives and charitable activities. Since 1980, we have been operating a charitable trust dedicated to support underprivileged students and contributing to our alma mater. This reflects our deep commitment to giving back to society and empowering future generations. You may have already seen our video showcasing our history and activities. If you missed it, no worries, we will be playing it during the upcoming breaks again. To ensure a safe and comfortable experience to all, I now invite the security personnel of Hotel Lalit to present the safety briefing. Is there anyone? Silence to honor the memory of our beloved alumnus who is no longer with us. A minute of silence, please. Returning to the core theme of our conference, let's refocus on the discussions ahead. As India approaches her vision of Vikasit Bharat, or Developed India, by 2047, she stands at the crossroads of transformation. With its growing economy, emerging technologies, and vast potential, the nation is poised for a remarkable journey towards becoming a global leader. In this context, let us reflect on a timeless teaching from the ancient wisdom of Upanishads. Yah Kriyavan Sa Pandita, a reminder that true wisdom lies not merely in words, but in the actions that bring knowledge to life. This verse reflects our vision for India or Bharat at 2030, where wisdom drives action in sustainable energy, economic growth, and job creation. Let's translate it into action as we begin today's discussions. Aligned with the vision of Vikasit Bharat at 2047, this national conference brings together a distinguished panel of experts, thought leaders, policymakers, and educationists to explore the key pillars shaping India's future. They are energy, economic growth, and employment. Through insightful deliberations and collaborative discussions, we aim to drive actionable strategies for a prosperous, sustainable, and inclusive India. While the journey towards 2047 is long, the Jadavpur University Alumni Association Mumbai is already envisioning its milestones for 2030, laying the foundations for meaningful progress and transformative impact. Today, we will delve into discussions on how energy can fuel our economy, how economic reforms and innovations will create new avenues for employment, and how India can become a sustainable, self-reliant nation, shaping its destiny on the world stage. We have an exceptional lineup of speakers and insightful sessions ahead. I'm confident that today's discussions will spark new ideas, strategies, and collaborations, empowering us to contribute to India's vision for 2030. May I now please invite Mr. Dibendu Chakraborty, Chairman of the Conference Committee, to officially initiate the conference.
Thank you, Paramita. Most of us believe safety first. As Lalit safety officer could not come because of some maybe other work, let me start with the safety briefing. So we are at the basement, and at the back side there are 2 doors, and the side there are 2 exit doors. In case of any accidental situation, there will be a bell. The way the bell rung for 3 times outside, and you can just come out. Please do not use this elevator. Take the staircase and come to the assembly point, which is just outside the reception area. If you have any question, please let me ask, or otherwise let me proceed. Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Devashish Chatterjee, keynote speaker Pankaj Kumar, who will join in some few minutes. Guest of honor, Professor Amitabh Datta, eminent panelist, and this wonderful audience. It's my great honor to initiate this conference on behalf of N.C.E, Bengal and Jadavpur University Alumni Association. I'm very happy to see our alumnus came from 6 cities, 5 Indian cities and 1 foreign city. People came from Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, Kolkata, Bengaluru, and from Vienna. So thank you all for joining. Today, India is the 5th largest economy with a GDP of near about 3.7 trillion, and we are likely to reach around 7 trillion by 2030. That is a prediction given by Economic Survey. The steady economic growth depends on many factors. And one of the important factors is energy, which is a prime mover of modern production system and all human activities. As economy progresses, from manual agricultural activities to the energy-intensive industrial activities, the energy demand increases. And subsequently, when the economy matures towards the information-based service industry, the energy intensity reduces or stabilizes. India followed a very complex path. From agricultural, we had some symptoms of leapfrogging to the service-based industry, and again now looking back and focusing on the manufacturing. So it's a very complex scenario to investigate. And moreover, the ongoing energy transition from fossil fuel to the clean energy, that adds another dimension that needs to be closer attention. So particularly, there can be a trade-off scenario between energy scenario and economic growth versus the energy transition. But nevertheless, the recent research done by Terry, which hints that India will be needing somewhere around 2,300 terawatt hour by 2030. So India's economic progress also will be very closely related to the employment creation, particularly availability of very large young workforce. We also cannot ignore some negative aspect of employment destruction due to the advancement of artificial intelligence. And considering all these important relationship, that is how we came to our topic, energy, economy, and employment. Now, after this inaugural session, we will have 3 panel discussions. And each panel will have a focus area of energy, economy, and employment respectively. To enforce the concept of employment, we will organize a special session called Employment Connect. This is a side event during the afternoon tea break and after the concluding session. This is an innovative concept where the HR recruitment agency like Boy & Hardin, our Employment Connect partner, will be present in the outside stall. And many of the senior executives present here are looking for a right skill of some top talent, and also the vice versa. There are some job seekers as well. So let us try with this model and let us connect each other. So that's the purpose. So I'll suggest all of you to connect with Boy and Harden outside the stall. Now I am very excited to really listen to our guest and panelists. When I sit in the audience, I'll make 4 promises to me. Number 1 promise. There will be engaging moment. I'll never ask floor questions. There are question and answer forms given in a pouch. I'll use that form, raise my hand so the volunteers can pick up and give it to the speakers. Number 2, I'll try to come back to my seat within the allotted time limit of the break. Number 3, I'll fully utilize this Employment Connect session side event at the outside. And number 4, I'll keep my mobile in silent mode. So I'm sure whatever I am thinking and making promise to me, you all are thinking the same way, isn't it? Say yes. Loudly say yes. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and esteemed colleagues, it is with great privilege that we welcome our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Debashish Chatterjee, CEO and Managing Director at LTI Mindtree, whose presence today adds immense value to this occasion. Debashish Chatterjee, or DC, is the CEO and Managing Director of LTI Mindtree, bringing over 30 years of experience in IT services and business growth. He specializes in building high-performance enterprise, strategic alliance, and mergers, ensuring transformation across industries. With a keen focus on leadership and innovation, DC has played a crucial role in positioning LTI Mindtree as a global leader in the technology services. Starting his career at TCS, DC has held key positions at Cognizant and IBM, gaining vast expertise across the IT sector. He has been an executive council member at NASSCOM and a keynote speaker at institutions like MIT Sloan, IIM Ahmedabad, and Indian School of Business. Passionate about cricket and leadership development, he actively mentors emerging industry professionals. May I now invite Abhimanyu Chaudhuri, 2011 instrumentation, to kindly present the memento and flowers and escort our esteemed guest to the stage.
So first and foremost, thank you N.C.E, Bengal and Jadavpur University alumni for having me here. I'm indeed honored to share the dais with other eminent personalities. And I must also, congratulate the Alumni Association for choosing such a topic which is so relevant in the current context. And on a lighter note, for a change, I've been invited to speak on something which is not AI. And I was actually getting a little worried when Dibyendu was talking, because some of the things he was talking, I'm also supposed to speak, so was worried that he doesn't steal my thunder. With that, let me just, I'm going to use a few slides, and as a from a background standpoint, I'm a mechanical engineer, but switched over to IT by accident and spent in IT for more than 35 years now. So I'll try to talk about whatever I understand. So first and foremost, we need to acknowledge the fact that we live in a world which is, only one single word, which is Trump. But beyond the Trump, if you look at what's going on right now, it's a complete chaos and disruption. And again, I don't need to talk about every point on my slides, but you can read for yourselves. But essentially what it means for us is we are living in a so-called VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So how can India lead in this new era? And let's call it the E's of business. And the 3 E's that the organizers have already defined, which is economy, energy, and employment. But I wanted to add one more E over there, which is equitability. And I will talk about it as I go along. And again, as I said, all these E's are very relevant in the current context when we talk about India at 2030. The Indian economy per se has made huge strides in a decade. If you look at the chart over here, I hope it is legible. India had a GDP of 1.9 trillion US dollars in 2013. And fast forward, we are at the 5th position. And if you look at it, we are the fastest growing economy in the last decade. And in spite of the unprecedented crisis that COVID caused, we still managed to grow faster than anybody else. And as Dibyendu mentioned, we are expected to be the 3rd largest economy by 2030, overtaking Japan and Germany. And what is actually driving the economy? I mean, if you look at the drivers of the economy, one key driver for the economy is the equity markets. And look at 1994 and fast forward to 2024, where we are in the last 30 years. If you look at this carefully, you will see that in 1994, there are only 4 sectors which contributed to 90% of the stock market. Whereas if you look at now, fast forward 2024, first and foremost is the rise of services. The services industries have been growing very fast. And essentially, the way it is right now, it's much more diversified in terms of the equity market. Some of the things which are worth mentioning is energy has moved from 1% to 9%, IT has moved from 1% to 12%, and financials is moved from 4% to 27%. The other important thing about talking about economy is the financial services drives growth for the rest of the economy in most countries. So we should be very proud of where we are, and it's a very good situation to be in. Apart from equity markets, there's one more thing which is important, indicator for the economy, which is a vibrant IPO market. I don't know how many of you know that India has led the world in terms of number of IPOs in 2024. We had 327 IPOs in 2024, and it is only second in terms of value with respect to the US. And some of the key factors are, of course, all of you understand the China Plus One strategy, which has helped India, the robust GDP growth, the stock market that I talked about. And the most important thing, in my view, is the retail investors. I'm sure all of you follow mutual funds, and one of the things that I have been following and I have been, observing that there was this situation where everything was dependent on FIIs. But today, we should be very proud to say that FIIs are important, but because of FIIs pulling out, the market doesn't collapse. It used to be very bad at some point of time, if you just go back 2 decades or even 1 decade. But today, the retail investors and the DIIs are so much involved and so much into the, participating in the markets. It is actually provided a lot of stability to the Indian markets. And of course, not to ignore the mega IPOs like Swiggy, Hyundai Motors India, NTPC Green Energy, so on and so forth. Shifting gears, since I'm here to talk about energy, economy, and employment, let me talk a little bit about energy. We cannot think of economic growth unless we also pay attention to what's happening in the energy sector. First of all, everybody is familiar with the global warming. The world is rapidly heating, and with the advent of artificial intelligence, GenAI, and all the powerful chips that we are talking about, the data centers will have more needs in terms of energy. And to support our 2030 ambition, energy is going to be very critical for all of us. If you look at the chart over there, from FY11 to FY21, the YOY growth has been 5%. But since FY21, the consumption has been growing at 9%. And as the fastest growing major economy, India's electricity demand is skyrocketing. And India is the third largest producer and consumer of electricity worldwide, which is again something we should be aware of. Last month was the warmest ever February in 125 years. The power demand reached 238 gigawatts. And as per International Energy Agency, IEA, India's 2030 natural gas consumption is to be increasing by 60%. And right now, the coal forms 47% of our power source mix, but we have to think of renewables and all these things as we go along. So providing the future of energy is going to be across all the three aspects of generation, transmission, and storage. Let me just pick up something on green hydrogen and alternative fuels. And I want to share some interesting data points. The US Department of Energy has, they envision that 10 MMT of clean hydrogen is produced by 2030, 10 MMT. If you look at China, the target for China in 2030 is approximately 50 MMT. And which is, and China accounts for almost 70% of 2024 worldwide capacity in green energy. And in India, we have launched the National Green Hydrogen Mission in 2021, and we are aiming for 5 MMT, million metric tons per annum of green hydrogen production capacity in 2030. So just imagine US 10, China talking about 50, and India at 5. So we have a long way to go, but it's a great aspiration for us on the green energy side. If you look at, moving to transmission, there is a comprehensive transmission infrastructure investment plan worth US $100 billion plus, which has been unveiled to ensure power infrastructure meets India's projected demand of almost 450 gigabytes by 2032. And now all these things have to be backed up by storage as well. India is aiming to have a 12-fold increase to 60 gigawatts by FY32. And this is primarily through the battery energy storage systems and pump storage projects to support its renewable energy goals. So as we speak, energy is going to be one of the most important aspects as we drive the economic growth. The third pillar we talked about is employment. And this is something which is very close to my heart, because being in the IT services industry, this is something which we deal with day in and day out. And if you look at the future, the core skills in 2030, which are going to be prominent, will be the ones which you see on the screen: AI, big data, technological literacy, so on and so forth. But at a fundamental level, what is expected from the Gen Zs who are passing out now is adaptability. And the other important thing which I always get fascinated with is, gone are those days where I keep on learning, because you can only learn so much. But beyond a certain point of time, the way technology has moved, I think it's a question of unlearn and relearn. So those who are successful in terms of unlearn and relearn, they succeed. And I have seen that in my experience during the COVID days, where, interestingly, those people who thrived during the COVID when IT services was at its peak were the people who could unlearn and relearn new technologies and move very fast. And the other important thing which has happened is there was a time when the CIOs used to be order takers, the chief information officers of the companies. But today, when I work with many of my global clients, many of the CIOs are actually on the boards of the companies. So the CIO role has shifted from being an order taker, and don't take it literally, I'm just saying that they were following the orders from the business, but the CIOs have now become so critical in any organization. The business actually comes to the CIO looking for ideas in terms of how technology can shape their businesses. So technology has become an absolute core capability within every organization. So just to touch upon a little bit in terms of what do we need to do to nurture this. So if you look at, I've got 6 blocks over here, but I'll just be very brief. R&D in next-gen technologies is very critical. And the National Quantum Mission, which has a budget of INR 6,000 crores, this is a forum of creating a strong ecosystem in quantum. The India AI, for example, this is the national level AI mission. So this is very important, R&D in next-gen technologies. The next is the industry-academia collaboration along with the government. Ashok Leyland formed a collaboration with IIT Madras. I think ONGC formed a collaboration with PDP University on oil and industry research, oil industry research. Amazon has a collaboration with Startup India Mission. So these are all some of the examples where the industry collaboration is becoming very critical. The holistic education, this is something which is going to be very critical, and especially for people who are going to work in the next 10 years. I personally believe, and I have played a lot of cricket in my life. Cricket is my passion. And I think as things have evolved in the game of cricket, I think there are many people who must have grown up watching test matches, then to the 50 overs, and then of course we love the T20. But the game has changed. Today, for example, if you are not a good fielder, you are not part of the team. But fielding is not your, it's not one of your skills which are a differentiated skill. You have to be a good fielder. Whereas if you look at the test match cricket, there are a lot of people we can think of who are not the best fielders. So essentially, when you talk about holistic education, I think the important thing is today we have to develop a lot of skills, but we have to also understand what is my core skill and what is the skill which I anyway need to have. Whether we like it or not, there are, I call it a T-shaped skill, which is T is basically the alphabet T, where you need to have a lot of skills which are generic, but then you need to decide in terms of 1 or 2 areas where you need to excel. And when I say unlearn and relearn, you probably have to unlearn and relearn those, the bottom of the T, because that's going to be a differentiated capability for everybody. I think that's something which is very critical. Today, people, especially from IT industry standpoint, I can say that there are so many skills which are required, which has got nothing to do with technology. But that's what is required, and that's what I mean by holistic education. Enhanced graduate employability, I think this is something which we all understand. Today, there's a lot of graduates who are passing out from within India, but many times we also debate and deliberate whether they're all employable or not. So we need to do something to make them more employable. The incubation hubs, the incubators, I think this is something which is very important. And the Telangana Technology Hub is a classic example. The IIT Madras funded the Hyperloop project. These are also going to be very critical. And the last point I wanted to leave over here is the Global Capability Centers, the GCCs. And this is something where the GCCs are focusing on R&D and innovation for global companies. Now, being in an IT services company, whenever I see another GCC coming up, I am always very worried because they will take people from me. But in this forum, I can tell you that GCCs are the best things that are happening for the country. Because all the global players, when they set up the GCCs, they are basically going to foster R&D and IP in India, which is a phenomenal thing for India in 2030. And as I said, I mean, there's a fourth pillar that I want to talk about, which is basically equitability. In other words, it's the inclusivity. We cannot continue to grow, we cannot continue to focus on economy unless we are also inclusive. We have talked a lot about this. I think there has been a lot of initiatives about inclusivity. And when I say inclusivity, I think the first thing we need to understand is we have to improve the ease of business, encourage foreign investments. And this is something where it is inclusivity with the foreign, the global economy per se. The skilling hubs, which I talked about, but the skilling hubs have to be extended across the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Today we have to also understand that tier 1 cities are almost, it is becoming impossible. I mean, I don't know how many of you live in Bangalore, I live in Bangalore. Moving from one place to another place in Bangalore is not a very easy experience. And people who are moving into the tier 2 cities, even within my company, I set up we have been setting up in Indore. I think people are very happy about being in Indore. So tier 2, tier 3 cities have to become the skilling hubs. Diverse workforce, nothing to elaborate, but our workforce is still not, I don't see enough diversity in my workforce at a leadership level, and that's not me, that's pretty much a situation within India, and I think we need to address that. Democratize technology. I think, when you talk about technology, it has to be accessible across the board, across various cities. Leverage IoT and AI/ML for new levels of sustainability, and this is something that we have been participating in many initiatives. And of course, last but not the least, with the data privacy, the localization, data residency, and data protection, and local language support becomes very, very important, which is the sovereign AI. And at some point of time, we will see that there is some LLMs coming out in India as well. So in summary, I would say that India is very well placed in today's VUCA world. We have a very, very strong economic foundation. We have good policies, but we need to continue to have pragmatic policies and investments towards energy and employment. And last but not the least, we need to consider equitability and sustainability amongst all other initiatives. Before I conclude, this is my last slide. I want to leave a message with you. And this is something which I personally believe in. So if you think that you are in a crisis, I think we should not let the good crisis go away. And this is something which, said by Winston Churchill. I think it's a very, very valid point, and especially we saw that during the pandemic, because when everybody, of course, there are a lot of things which are negative about the pandemic, but the growth that India had, especially in the IT services, was phenomenal during that time. So it was an opportunity which we capitalized on. And very recently I came across an article in Fortune. So if there are budding CXOs, budding CEOs in this audience, I think it also, presents a strategic opportunity for you if you are, listening to this presentation. So, I think the most important thing is, if I just if I conclude, is it is important to get out of your comfort zone and challenge the status quo. By the way, this presentation today is getting out of the comfort zone for me. But with that, I hope it was useful. Thank you so much, and thank you once again for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, very much. Now that we have Mr. Pankaj Kumar over here, I take the opportunity to invite our esteemed guest, along with Mr. Dibyendu Chakraborty and Mr. Rudranath Banerjee, to step forward and take part in the ceremonial lamp lighting. N.C.E is one of our esteemed JE alumni. We are now delighted to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, Director of Production, ONGC, who will be sharing invaluable insights with us. Pankaj Kumar, Director of Production at ONGC, oversees oil and gas production across offshore and onshore fields. With 35 years in this sector, he has extensive expertise in operations management, well engineering, corporate strategy, and asset management. He has led ONGC's corporate strategy ground and managed key production assets, contributing significantly to the company's growth. A chemical engineering graduate from IIT Roorkee with a master's in process engineering from IIT Delhi, he has also attended advanced management programs at top institutions. His leadership in major projects has strengthened ONGC's production capabilities, ensuring operational excellence in India's energy sector. I invite Shobhik Roy, class of 2018 Metallurgy, to kindly step forward and present the memento and flowers and escort our esteemed guest to the stage. May I have a round of applause, please?
Very good morning, the August gathering present here. We all saw a nice, wonderful presentation by Mr. Debashish Chatterjee. I could see only half of it. Oh, my boss is also sitting here. Mr. Singh Gupta, he is right there. He is an alumni of Jadavpur. So, of course, I'm not as good an orator, and I don't have a presentation as well with me right now. But yes, we are some way or other related with the topic, the energy, the economy, and the employment. And to me, all the three are having a wonderful relationship with each other. The energy, the economy, and the employment, they have a wonderful relationship with each other, a complex as well as very simple too. Whereas the energy is, I believe, the key driver for economy of a country, nation, geology, or whatever you say. Everybody needs reliable energy, sustainable energy, energy at an appropriate cost. I won't say low cost only. Energy at an appropriate cost. Energy creates employment. And so is economy. Economy creates employment. To grow economy, you need energy. To have more employment, you need energy. If employment is more, the economy will automatically grow. So that's what, this way I look at it. I mean, the energy, the employment, and the economy, they are very well knitted with each other. Yes, the forms of energy these days are changing. Mr. Chatterjee just presented that between 11 and 21, the growth was only 5%. The consumption in electricity was growing at a 5%, and now it is growing at almost 9%. That's true. The overall energy consumption of the country is increasing, but still we are not as good a per capita consumption of energy as the developed nation are. However, we are improving, and the requirement in the country is growing at a very, very fast pace. At the same time, under the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, the energy is taking shape where it is becoming more a clean energy, point forward basis. If we see in last few years, the percentage share of alternate forms of energy, the renewable energy has gone considerably up in the total primary energy consumption of the country with respect, and if we see the same pattern in the globe, the India is placed in a better way. Having said so, it doesn't mean that it will take away the employment of the energy producers. No. There may be a different set of a skill requirement when we talk about producing electricity or by fossil, or when we talk about producing even the fossil itself. But minor change in the skill set, the employment will be there if we produce alternate form of energy, whether it is solar, whether it is wind, whether it is hydro, nuclear, whatever you say. So employment is not going to go away. Yes, at the end, Mr. Chatterjee shown some areas where, it will be more focused in the future world, led by AI, digital, and all those things. Again, long back, when computers were being introduced in India, people were scared, oh, what will we do? Everything will be done by the computers, and our employment will not be there, we'll be jobless, and all those things were being talked about, but it never happened. The form of employment changed. So may be the case in the time to come. AI is not going to go eat away the employment. Somebody need to develop even the algorithm for them. Somebody need to write code for that. Maybe the type will change. Yes, maybe 30, 40 years back, we were having more blue-collar jobs. Today, more white-collar jobs are there. And this pattern may even continue. When COVID stuck and post-COVID, when the globe was becoming normal, lot of work from home culture developed, people got scared. What will happen to the office spaces? Office space will fall vacant. Work from home is a better way of working. People will work from wherever they want to work. They will be happy as well. And the companies will spend less money in maintaining a big office, providing some kind of services which are being provided in the office space, maintaining ACs and all those things. It's just 4 years back. See the, transportation now. The air industry, pre-COVID, post-COVID, today they are earning much more money, they have much more business. The hospitality industry, the hotels, all hotels are full. New and new hotels are getting built. And when this happens, that means the economy is growing, the employment is getting generated. And the energy is, of course, as much infrastructure you create, as much logistic you improve, the requirement of energy definitely is going to grow. You rightly said, sir, now people are thinking of moving from tier 1 cities to tier 2 cities because tier 1 cities have their own set of problems. And in fact, if we see the Western countries, people come to work for the tier 1 cities and go back in the evening to the tier 2, close by areas where they live. The life is better there. We are also progressing slowly towards that direction, maybe knowingly or maybe unknowingly. That means the energy requirement of tier 2 city will grow up. The infrastructure requirement of tier 2 city will grow up. That will generate employment there. In the tier 2 city, people from rural areas, they'll come and work there. Maybe they go back to their places or they stay there. So it's a circular energy, economy and employment, I believe, is a circular thing, each supporting the other two, and that way it grows. This 20th century, this probably was a century for the fossil, when hydrocarbon started somewhere to late 1800s and so, and then peaked. Still, we say the peak of oil and gas production will be somewhere around 2040, 2050. But yes, a lot of talks are there on energy transition, shifting from fossil to other forms of energy. But what exactly is happening? The requirement of energy of the globe is, growing at such a faster pace. The delta which is coming from the alternate forms of energy is not able to substantiate or to meet or to fulfill that gap in totality. Still, the fossil have not lost their charm. The oil and gas are still as easy to be used, and the form of energy which everybody needs for the growth of their respective places and the humankind. But yes, now the talks are there, the uses of crude oil may change. It may not be used to generate energy only, it may be used to, get more and more petchems, chemicals and all. The use of the energy may be produced with the gas. The percentage share of gas will increase in energy basket, and so will be the percentage share of the alternate forms of energy. And thus, again, at the cost of repeating, I would say that will be, the type of jobs, the type of skills, the type of education, basic education people will be having, they need to change accordingly. Earlier, when we were studying in the colleges, the industry-academia relationship were not so strong as we see it now. Reason being, as you rightly said, sir, the skill set is different and people are getting, the industry need more skilled people. They don't need more educated people, I think. They need more skilled people. Sometime education, it creates boundaries. We are not able to think here and there, where a skilled person, he can do better. The requirement of energy, the GCC, Global Capacity Centers, which are being created, wherever they are being created, or the data centers which are being created, these things will add to the requirement of energy in future. We are hearing these days that big data centers are being created in developed countries, and big IT companies, rather all these web-based companies, be it Google, be it Amazon, be it Microsoft, they need very big data centers. And when such a big data centers are created, they need a lot of solution towards the heat, kind of heat they would be generated. Again, requirement of energy. Now you produce energy in whatever form you want, requirement of employment. You need people to do that. So this cycle will continue. I think nobody need to be worried that they'll not be having job in future. Everybody will be having a good job. Maybe the type of job will change. Maybe you need to think differently. The students will have to be told accordingly, and probably more and more exposure of the industry is required to be given to the students when they are there in the this kind of technical colleges, when they go to the colleges from the schools. And I think world is changing in that direction as well. The syllabus, the curriculums are changing. When we were studying, there were only 4 or 5 core forms of technical courses: electrical engineering, electronics engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering. Those were being taught. Today, different forms of curriculums are being clubbed together, and new forms of syllabus is coming, and people are taking admission and doing wonders these days. In fact, because of my nature of my job, I also travel a lot, and sometime or else when I meet somebody during the course of travel, I find somehow I'm not able to make out by his title what he is doing, then I need to ask, यार थोड़ा खुल के बताओ करते क्या हो? Now people are manager this, manager that, manager, I don't know. I mean, we become typically clueless what the person is doing and what is his qualification, educational background. That may be something else. Still, the skills are making him doing all those jobs very efficiently, and people are able to deliver. And that's the reason the country is growing at such a good, faster pace. Our GDP rate is one among the highest. So and it is projected to continue at this pace, if not more, at least for 4-5 years. And if our economy grows at this rate for 4-5 years, that means the employment will be generated at this pace. And that means the energy requirement will be growing at this pace. We need to think in that direction, and we can work in that direction. So the sponsors who are listed here and here, you need not worry. By sponsoring this event, you'll be generating more money. So you should be happy for your future. Sir, you rightly said earlier the infocoms were only the undertakers. Today, a little difference has come between this form also. Infocom and digital, two different wings have come. Digital is getting more and more pace, yes. Data analytics is coming, artificial intelligence is coming, and in all these sphere, all the industry it is coming. Even in my industry, which used to be a lot of labor-intensive industry, now how to make this particular work less labor-intensive and more automated is the key. Reason is 2-3. First of all, efficiency of the system will go up. The output may increase. But above all is safety of the human being. We are working in a hazardous environment. If we can keep human being away from that environment, we can make our systems, our operations more safe. The life of the people will not be at risk. And that's the precise reason we are going, and that's the reason now lot of things are getting digitized at a faster pace. Soumya is sitting here; she is helping us in doing so a little bit, guiding us through BCG. How do we can move in that direction? Thank you, Soumya. I think you have some panel here today. I just saw in the aircraft the charter of the day. So that's what, in fact, whenever I come to the stage, I'm very sorry, sir, with a folded head. I'm never prepared. I come, listen, and see the topic and start speaking. That's a bad habit I am having. So what mostly it's kind of an extempore. And my guru who's sitting here, if he comes to the stage, he also used to do that. Probably I learned from him, but he was a very good orator and he has got a good knowledge. So he used to speak in a wonderful manner, sir. Really, you taught us well. Thank you. So this institute, this Jadavpur University, one of our chairman, late Shri Suvira Haji, from 2001 to 2006. He was an iconic figure, a known figure in oil and gas industry. A case study in IIMs. I went to almost a month course at IIM Calcutta, and we were taught a case study of Mr. Suvira. So then I got a chance to visit Jadavpur University at that time. We spent half a day over there. I'm forgetting the name of the professor. She was a lady in chemical engineering department, and she was working that time on some World Bank project. So it is a wonderful campus, a very old campus. Thanks to the organizer that on their alumni of Jadavpur University is, making an event here, organizing an event here on a very, very interesting topic. And there are a lot of panels which will be discussing something on 3 different topics. I think the energy, the economy, and the employment. And I'm sure towards the end, somebody will be making it the circle complete. The energy, the economy, and the employment. And that will be a wonderful thing. Thank you so very much for inviting me here. And thank you so very much for following up. Shobhaji, thanks. You gave me this opportunity to be here on the dais as well, though I'm not so suitable to be standing here on this dais amongst this gathering. Thank you so very much. Jai Hind.
Thanks. To our distinguished guest of honor, Professor Amitava Datta, Pro Vice Chancellor, Jadavpur University, whose contributions and expertise have significantly enriched the university. Professor Amitava Datta is the Pro Vice Chancellor of Jadavpur University, a distinguished academic in power engineering and a JU alumni himself. With a PhD from IIT Kharagpur, he has been recognized with the Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship and has worked internationally at the University of Erlangen-Nuremberg. His research spans energy, sustainability, and engineering education. An award-winning educator, he has held various administrative roles, including director at IQAC at Jadavpur University. A fellow of several prestigious academics, he continues to contribute to academia through research, mentorship, and policy development in higher education. May I invite Shumon Khamroi, 2022 Mechanical, to kindly present the flowers and memento and escort our guest towards the stage. May I have a round of applause, please?
On this occasion, the Alumni Association of Mumbai Branch, they are organizing such conferences and seminars very regularly on contemporary topic, and the topic they have chosen for this year's seminar is one such on an area which is very, very relevant in today's context. I would have having taught in the power engineering department for more than 30 years and doing research in the area of energy, I would have loved to say a few words on the topic, but I have been requested to speak on our university, being the Pro Vice Chancellor of the university at the present time, and I understand that the audience, most of whom are alumni of our university, will like to know about the present situation of the university, where we stand in terms of academics, in terms of research, in terms of the academic ecosystem of the country and the world. And I therefore also thank the organizers for asking me to talk about this. So already DC incidentally is my batchmate. We, both of us, graduated in 1987 from the mechanical engineering department. And both DC and Mr. Pankaj Kumar, they have talked about some very, very key and important aspects regarding energy, regarding economy, how the economy presently growing in the country, where we stand and where we will go in the coming years, and how the employability will take its course as we move forward. I have taken two very, very key words from their talk. Mr. Pankaj Kumar has said that industry does not need educated people, they need skilled people. This is a very important takeaway for me as we are in the middle of revising our undergraduate curriculum. We expect to have a new curriculum and new syllabus in the undergraduate programs of engineering from the coming session. I will surely take back this important information to my colleagues. Very controversial topic. At the same time, DC also mentioned in his talk that the engineers who are coming out from the engineering institutes, many of them are not employable. So probably these two are something very related. And as educators, we have to concentrate on this. Okay, so coming back to my topic, your university and you, for the alumni of Jadavpur University, and I believe most of you who are here in the audience are alumni of the university. For those who are not, I am sure that you will also get some feel about our university in this presentation. Now, as you know, Jadavpur University, this is the main building, Aurobindo Bhavan of the university, all of you may remember. It started its journey not as the university, but as an institute under National Council of Education Bengal before independence in the year 1906, as a part of the nationalist movement, when the nationalist leaders of the country thought that we need a different type of education separate from the British education system which was prevailing at that time in the country. And they started this institute. And there were leaders like Aurobindo Ghosh, who incidentally was the first principal of the institute, Rabindranath Thakur, and others who contributed financially and also intellectually to start this institute and develop it. And one very, very interesting thing of the institute of that time is that what we are talking about now in the education system in terms of national new education policy, the same thing we had in Jadavpur University at that time. Means now we are talking about experiential learning in the new education policy, learning by hand, doing things by hand. And in Jadavpur's education, we had that during that early time as well. Also, we are now talking about introducing more subjects, more interdisciplinarity in education, subjects of social science in engineering, and it is wonderful to know that during that early times, the engineering course, engineering curriculum of Jadavpur, not Jadavpur University of N.C.E. Bengal, had courses on history, courses on humanities and things like that. So with such type of pedigree, the institute started, and then after independence in 1955, it got converted into a state university. Now, we have 3 campuses, the Jadavpur campus. We also have a campus much smaller at Salt Lake campus, where we have 5 engineering departments, and I see some of the alumni who are present here are from Salt Lake campus. Incidentally, I also taught in the power engineering department, which is in the Salt Lake campus, and we also have a 3rd campus, though we do not have anything there yet. That is the NIL campus, which is just opposite to the road of the Jadavpur campus. We now have 4 faculties, Faculty of Arts, Science and Engineering, which all of you know, which started long back, and in the year 2012, we started a 4th faculty, the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies, which most of the universities do not have, at least in our country. In fact, the university recognizes the importance of interdisciplinary studies and research sometimes in the middle of 1980s when it was not so popular, at least in the universities in India. And we started setting up interdisciplinary schools. Professor Sujoy Basu, many of you may be knowing him, of the electrical engineering department, started the School of Energy Studies. Similarly, School of Water Resource Engineering was started, and gradually many such interdisciplinary schools started in the university. They started for doing interdisciplinary research, taking faculties from different departments. Now, eventually we had 21 such interdisciplinary schools, and many of those schools also started to offer postgraduate level courses. Finally, in 2012, all those schools were clubbed together under a separate faculty, which is called the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies. Presently, we have 13 departments under the Faculty of Arts, 16 under the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, which is the largest faculty, 7 departments under the Faculty of Science, and 21 schools and 1 department. We have a department called Department of Adult Continuing Education, and that is now taken into the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies. And you may be wondering what is L and M in that. L and M are law and management, though we have not yet started any law or management school under the university. So presently there are about 700 faculty members in the university. Nearly 200 positions are vacant. More than 13,000 students, out of which 3,800 students graduate out every year. There are more than 2,200 research scholars, and 400 research scholars, they get their PhD degree every year. So this is the university ecosystem. Ranking is a very important aspect for knowing the state of the academic institutions now. And Government of India, they started in the year 2017 ranking of the academic institutions under a framework which is called National Institutional Ranking Framework. Jadavpur University is participating in every year in this NIRF. NIRF ranks the institutes under different categories. The last ranking, which was declared in 2024, Jadavpur University was ranked as the second best state public university in the country. You know, there are different categories of university in the country: central universities, state universities, institutes of national importance, and all such. So under the state public university category, Jadavpur was ranked second after Anna University. In the overall category, and Jadavpur was ranked 17th. That takes into account all types of institutes and universities. Under the university category, university was ranked 9th. Now, interestingly, Anna University in the university category ranked below Jadavpur, though under the state public university category they were above Jadavpur. And this is because of the difference in weightage of different parameters when you rank under different categories. Jadavpur was also ranked 12th among the engineering institutes, and in the pharmacy and research institutes, we were ranked 21st and 18th. Now, if you look at the ranks of the university over the years, you will see that Jadavpur was placed around 4th to 6th in all the years under the university category, though in the last year, the rank got slightly down and we were ranked 9th. But if you look at the scores, the ranking is done under 5 different major metrics: teaching learning resources, research and professional practice, graduate outcome, outreach and inclusivity, and perception. Under all these categories, the score of Jadavpur University never fell down much. In fact, though we were ranked 9th in 2024 and 4th in 2023 and 2022, the total score of Jadavpur does not differ much between these years. In 2024, 2024, the total score was 65.39, while in 2022, it was 65.37. So basically, this fall is because of the extreme competition that we now have among the institutes. We could not go up in the score, remained where we were, but some of the institutes did a little, scored a little higher, and that's why they got up. Now, if you look at the scores under the individual matrix, you will see in the graduation outcome, the performance of the students in their examination and the PhD, we remain quite high, means nearly 90 out of 100 is the total score under that particular metric. In teaching, learning and research and professional practice also among the Indian institutes and Indian universities, particularly if you leave aside a few central universities, the score remains high. I will tell you what are the metrics in which we are suffering. So this is the rank, this is the score of the top 10 institutes in NIRF 2024 among the university category, and you see that first ranked institute, that is IISc Bangalore, they had a score of 83 point something, while the institutes after that, their score do not differ much. At least between 4th and 9th, the score, or 4th and 10th, the difference in score is only very little, within one. So there is a fierce competition among the institutes, and only because of a slight variation in the score, the ranks shifts from 4th to 9th. The matrix for which I can identify as weak matrix for our university, and for which the score suffers quite a lot, are highlighted here. Fund is one of the major metric for which we lack. There are some metrics or sub-metrics, I would say, which takes into account how much fund is expended towards teaching learning, and there we suffer because the fund flow has come down considerably. We are not getting any fund from the central government for the university, which we earlier used to have. State government funds the salary for everyone. That is a lot of funding, but for the non-salary maintenance grant or development grant, there the funding is not as we require. Faculty-student ratio is also another metric where we are suffering, because for the last 3 years we could not recruit faculty, though there are continuous retirement of faculty members, and that is because, again, due to some administrative reason, we are not having any permanent vice chancellor over the last 2 years period because of certain disturbances, you may be knowing about it, in the state education system, and that is why the number of faculty members has come down, and the faculty-student ratio is suffering. Regional diversity is one of the important metric under outreach and inclusivity. As a state university, we do not have regional diversity of students. Regional diversity means what percentage of students are from outside the state. Most of the students of the university are from within the state, and that is why we suffer a lot. We could not score high in regional diversity, and all the central institutes and private institutes who are above us, like Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham or Aligarh Muslim University, you can see the names of the universities who are above us, and all of them are either central institutes or private institutes, top private institutes of the country, who have their students from all across the country. So in regional diversity, they always score much above us. And the fourth one is IPR, patent, how many patents the teachers are doing, and online education in the university. the research that the teachers are doing, we are quite good in research, at least in the Indian context. Then in terms of number of publication, if you see, and the quality of publication, which is reflected by citation of the publications, the score of the university remains quite high, but in terms of patent, there was not much awareness earlier. The situation is changing. We have set up a patent cell, and we are regularly organizing programs from the patent cell in order to make our faculty members, scholars, and students aware about patenting and importance of patenting. So hopefully in the coming days, we will be able to do better under that metric. Now coming into the world ranking of the institutes, the university regularly participate in the QS ranking. QS, as you know, is one of the UK-based higher education analytic firm who ranks the institutes worldwide based on different parameters. They publish the world ranking, and they also publish subject-wise ranking. Now, in the last world ranking of QS, Jadavpur University was placed in the 721 to 730 band. Among all the universities. Now in the QS ranking, they had nearly or slightly more than 1,500 universities worldwide in their fold. Mind that there are more than 25,000 universities all over the world. I mean, out of them, only 1,500 could figure in the list of QS, and among those 1,500, Jadavpur was placed in 721 to 730 band. Very recently, only last week, QS declared their subject-wise ranking in 2025. And they actually rank the institutes in 4 broad subject categories: arts and humanities, engineering and technology, natural science, and life science and medicine. Out of these 4, Jadavpur could feature in 3. In arts and humanities, Jadavpur was placed in 501 to 550 band. In engineering and technology and in natural science, Jadavpur was placed in 451 to 500 band. We are not there in life science and medicine band category because we do not have the medical faculty, and we only have a very small life science department in our university, so that's why. And then there are 12 different individual subjects where Jadavpur features. The highest rank is in English language and literature, where Jadavpur features in 201 to 250 band. And there are many different engineering subject areas where Jadavpur features, like in chemical engineering, pharmacy, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, material science, environmental science. In all these subject areas, Jadavpur could feature in the QS subject rank. Also in the natural science category, in physics, chemistry, and economics. Economics is not in natural science, it falls under arts and humanities in Jadavpur. So in all these different subject areas, Jadavpur could feature. Thus, under all the constraints that we have, we still could maintain our academic and research capability at a level where we could feature in the top institutes, top at least 500 institutes of the world. And I would say that if you look at the institutes of India, you will find that in all these subject categories, all these individual subject categories, 20 to 25 Indian institutes are in the list. So that is where we are placed. In terms of accreditation, Jadavpur also participates regularly in NAC and NB accreditation. We recently, last year, completed the 4th cycle of NAC accreditation, where we got A+ grade with 3.46 score out of 4. Now, we were never satisfied with this score because the score came down a little. In the third cycle, our score was 3.68, and we could not go into the A++ category. Now, this little drop, for A++, we had to have a score of 3.5 or above, 3.51 or above, because of certain lacuna that we have. Probably you may be knowing that in the present time, NAAC accreditation calculates the score based on quantitative parameters and qualitative parameter. Qualitative parameter is assessed through the visit of a peer team, and for the quantitative parameters we have to submit data on the NAAC portal, and data validation and verification team verifies that data based upon the documents which is required to substantiate the data. Now, because of the lack in data documentation and data management in the university, we could not submit certain data like the placement data. They required the placement of all the students who graduated in the last 5 years with all the details, offer letters and all. We did not have that because we did not have a system of maintaining that. We also could not maintain the scholarship data. Means now there are different government scholarships which are submitted in government portal. We submit the data in the government portal, could not retrieve it at the time when we had to submit the data to NAAC. So these are some of the lacuna. But the peer team which visited the university gave a very, very high rating of the university, and for the 25% weightage of the qualitative metric assessed by the peer team, we got 3.88 for that 25%. But for the 75% which is based on quantitative data, we got lower score, and that is why the overall score came down to 3.46. We also have 5 of our undergraduate programs accredited by NBA. 3 of them are in the Salt Lake campus: Power Engineering, Instrumentation and Electronics Engineering, and Information Technology, and 2 in the main campus: Computer Science and Electronics. So all these 5 undergraduate programs, they are accredited by the National Board of Accreditation, and the pharmacy course is accredited by PCI, and architecture course by COA. Council of Architecture. So we regularly have accreditation of the different courses and the university. In the student diversity, yes, we have more than 50% of undergraduate student, and nearly 17% of the PhD students remaining are postgraduate. And if you consider faculty-wise, again more than 50%, 55% are in engineering. Arts is some 29-30%, and science is 11%. So gender-wise, if you look, nearly 1/3, 33% or 34% is female, and the rest is male. So it's basically 2:1 ratio, you can say. And this is mostly because of in the engineering faculty, the female percentage is less. It is 11% in engineering. So that is why the overall is less. Of course, in arts faculty, the percentage of female is much higher, and that is the same everywhere, I think, across the country. And as engineering has the highest percentage, so that is why the student diversity is like 2:1. Regarding the placement, the university has a placement cell, and the students, particularly the engineering students, they regularly get their offer through various placement drives in the cell, and that's how it moves forward. So placement, at least in the engineering, is not a problem, but in the other faculty, we require a drive in the placement. In terms of research publication, the research publication is quite high in among the faculty. We have a large number of teachers of our university who feature in the Stanford list. You know, the Stanford University, they have a group of professors who actually rate the research of the different researchers in different fields and publish the names of 2% researchers. So we have, I am very proud to say that we have the highest number of researchers in the Stanford list among all the universities in the country. So that is a very good achievement, I would say. The research publication is increasing every year, and the research, quality research, the research in the top journals, that is also quite high, more than 40%, 42% of the research publications are in the top 25% journals. So research wise, the university is not doing bad, but again the research infrastructure needs substantial improvement. At least particularly what we need is the maintenance of the research infrastructure. We have developed various infrastructure from different projects that the faculty members get from various funding agencies, but maintaining those infrastructure remains a challenge. The three important areas in which the research is conducted by the faculty members are advanced materials, artificial intelligence, and environmental sustainability. As we have searched among the faculty members of the university, we have come out with these three areas where most of the faculty members are doing their research, and therefore we have identified these three areas where we can institute center of excellence in the university, and that can really boost up the research a lot. So that is one of the very important things. The student life, as all of you know, we have a very vibrant university's student life with lots of clubs and various activities. Internationalization also we are trying, but we are not having international students or international faculty members as such. What we are having is, we have some certificate courses where international students participate, and we have regular research exchange with various universities across the world. So internationalization is in terms of research and in terms of research collaboration. We have two identified best practices. One is to provide critical support to differently abled individuals. We have nearly 150 persons with disabilities, PWD students, and 3 faculty members who are also physically challenged. We have an accessible library, a library for the visually impaired students in our university. We have more than 125 visually impaired students. Most of them are in the Faculty of Arts. In fact, all of them are in the Faculty of Arts, and at different levels, undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD. And we are in the process of upgrading that accessible library with the support of our Global JU Alumni Foundation and some of the alumni, also through the Rotary Foundation. And in April, that upgraded library is about to be inaugurated, where many equipment facility will come up so that we can have more facilities in the library. The second best practice is in innovation. In the innovation, the students are encouraged to take up their innovative ideas and go for entrepreneurship or startup. There also we are getting support from different alumni groups. The Jadavpur University Alumni Association in South California, they have come forward in supporting this initiative of innovation. We have a Jadavpur University Press, that is a unique thing of the university. Not many universities are having such press in the university, but we have, as do Oxford or Cambridge and some of the universities across the world, and regularly publish various books, and they have collaborations with renowned publishers also for translating and things like that. The financial status, very briefly, the good thing is that there is no problem with the salary or retirement benefits. The state takes care of that. The constraints are because there are certain areas where the expenditure has gone up in the last few years. One such is repair and maintenance, and another is the manpower from private agencies. As we could not recruit many of the, I mean, non-teaching positions are vacant. We could not recruit non-teaching staff for the last several years. After 2018, there is no recruitment. So manpower we have to take from the private agencies, and the university has to bear that manpower cost. So that is one area where the expenditure has increased a lot, and the buildings are becoming old, so repair and maintenance of the buildings there also, and repair and maintenance of the equipment, there the expenditure has increased, and government, even the state government, is not taking care of the entire expenditure. So university has to generate, and we are really finding it very difficult to meet these expenses. You can know about the university. The university internal quality assurance cell is publishing newsletter. These are available on the website. You can go on to the website and look for this newsletter. You will find many interesting news of the university. And the university also publishes the annual report every year. That is also available in the university, where you will get the details of the activities in different departments, academic, research and others from the annual report. Now coming to the alumni support, we have a very strong alumni base all across the world. There are alumni associations, many alumni associations within the country, like the Mumbai Association, and across the world. The Alumni Association, which is based in the university, they do support the students through scholarships, and also they offer medals. The Mumbai Branch Alumni Association also offer scholarships and medals to meritorious students and needy students. And very recently, Professor Roy had been to the university, and we organized a program where some such meritorious students have been offered scholarship. In addition, a global Jadavpur University Alumni Foundation has been established in the US, and they are coming up with support in various departments. They have supported the geology department with with their remote sensing lab. Electronics department has been supported with the setting up of a center of excellence on IC. English department is being supported with a unique project called Shabdokalpa project. Jadavpur University East Coast Alumni Association and Mr. Shanot Chattopadhyay, who is an alumnus of 1981 chemical engineering, they are supporting on various activities. Incidentally, Mr. Chattopadhyay, who is now the president of Mark Foundation USA, Mark Pharmaceuticals USA, he is supporting the university with a CSR grant from his company in India, and they have given a sum of 1 crore rupees, with which the unit operation lab of the chemical engineering department is being renovated, and we will inaugurate that renovated lab on 4th of April. We have a program, Mr. Chattopadhyay will be coming. Mr. Himendu Narayan Chaudhary, who was an alumnus of, esteemed alumnus of the mechanical engineering department on 1965. Unfortunately, he passed away, and his family has donated 2,10,000 US dollars, so a sum of 1 crore 78 lakh rupees, for the development of a laboratory in the mechanical engineering department, advanced measurement lab. It is coming up. Similarly, there are other alumnus, various other activities. Many of the batches, alumni batches, are financing and supporting in developing infrastructure of their respective departments. In the chemical engineering department, civil, mechanical, electrical and other departments, such support is coming up. The alumni of the Salt Lake campus, they have generated fund for an ambulance in the Salt Lake campus. So many such activities are now coming up with the support of the alumni, and those are regularly getting interest of the press as well. One of the chemical engineering alumni, he has supported with a reactor of 35 lakhs in the chemical engineering department. Professor Siddhartha Sen, who was a professor of the IIT Kharagpur and an alumnus of electrical engineering department, he donated 25 lakhs for building the institute's innovation council, and that is also coming up and will be inaugurated soon. So many such activities. And the university thought that we should build a relation from the university with the alumni, and with that purpose, the alumni cell was founded in 2023, and we are progressing with the alumni cell, taking up various activities. Again, unfortunately, the progress is not to the wish that we had. But we have formulated a policy which we will place in the executive council and get vetted, so that the alumni cell can function much more structurally and in a better way, in order to reach the alumni, to get their support. The alumni can support the university in various ways, not only with funding, but there are other different ways to support the students in their internship, in their placement, in mentoring the students, in order to make them employable. So there are many ways in which the alumni can support the university, and we have such a rich alumni base all across the world. If you come forward and support the university will surely go to a much higher height, and we look forward to the alumni, and the alumni cell has been established with that intention only. The alumni cell is not an alumni association, it is only a cell of the university. So we can approach all individual alumni, all the alumni associations, and everybody who is associated with Jadavpur University. You can connect the university through the cell and give all your advice, support, whatever you, and also if you need something. Many of the alumni, particularly the young alumni, they sometimes require certain things from the university, some certificates, some equivalent certificates, things like that, and they can also reach the alumni cell for that. We will shortly establish an office of the alumni cell. We will employ a person in the alumni cell to maintain the office, and I am sure that this will help all the alumni as well as the university in the long run. We also celebrated the Alumni Day for the first time from the university. It's not from the Alumni Association or the different departments. They organize reunions over a very long time. But on 4th January 2025, we organized an Alumni Day from the university alumni cell, and invited the alumni to participate. We did not have a very large participation on the first time. Around 300 to 320 alumni participated. We also tried to webcast the function, but I am sure that from the next year the participation will increase, and it has been decided that every year on the first Saturday of the year, this Alumni Days will be celebrated by the university, and I invite all of you who are present here to join the next Alumni Day function, and also to propagate this news to others. So with that, I would conclude. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to place my university and our university in front of all of you. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I would be very happy to respond.
No, it's okay, it's okay. What? It's okay.
What is the? Will you? Later? Okay.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Mr. Rudranath Banerjee, class of 1993, Civil, President of the Alumni Association, N.C.E. Bengal, Jadavpur University, Mumbai Branch, to deliver the general welcome address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed alumni, faculty and students. It is with great pride and excitement that I addressed you today at this pivotal conference at the President of our University Alumni Associations. This gathering is a testimony to enduring bonds and shared aspirations that unite us as a community. Our university has long been a crucible in innovations, where ideas are transformed into reality, where the foundation of engineering excellence are laid. Today, we celebrate the achievement of our alumni who have carried this legacy forward, making significant contribution across diverse fields. Our Alumni Association, N.C.E. Bengal Jadavpur University Mumbai Branch was established in the year 1956 with an objective of providing umbrella to all ex-students could meet, interact and socialize. Today we are one of the oldest alumni association in Mumbai, which has organized 16 numbers conference with different contemporary topic from 1995. Going by the Make in India phrase, just think of the situations. If government allowed to develop India without any planning of youth and wealth of people, then in long run it cannot perform, rather it will collapse. During brainstorming session on this year conference topic, our first thought where India will be placed regarding energy, economy and employment in next decade. This conference is not just an opportunity to reflect our past accomplishment, but a platform to envision the future. It is a call to action for each of us to leverage our collective expertise to address the pressing challenges of our time, be it climate change, sustainable development, technology disruptions, or economic growth and youth employment. I urge each of you to actively participate in our initiative by sharing your insight, experience, your contribute to a dynamic exchange of ideas that can drive meaningful changes. Together we can inspire the next generation of engineers to dream bigger and active more. This conference shall focus towards the growth of India so that the largest democracy can turn around the example of other nations. Let us embrace the challenges ahead with confidence and determination, knowing that as a united force, there is no obstacle we can overcome. Together we can shape a future that is not only innovative, but also inclusive and diversity. Thank you of your unwavering commitment to excellence and for being part of this incredible journey. Let us forge ahead with purpose and pride. Thank you.
May I please invite once again Mr. Debashish Chatterjee and Professor Amitava Datta to the stage, please. Class of 1996, Film Studies, Chief Editor, to initiate the release of N.C.E 2025. I also request Mr. Dibyendu Chakravarti, 1991 Mechanical, and Mr. Rudranath Banerjee, 1993 Civil, to kindly join us to the stage for this special moment.
This N.C.E is our annual publication, and of course Aruna, who as an editor, will tell something, but I will request our sub-editor, Paramita, also to join. A lot of work has happened, and now it is uploaded in our website. After this, you can collect few physical copies, or otherwise you can see the digital copies as well. So please, Paramita, join.